Okay, guys, we are recording this English meeting right now. So, Alice, first of all, thank you so much to being here with us. And it's a pleasure, as always, to practice my speaking skills here and develop our English together. So, for everyone who are watching us here, don't forget to subscribe and to click a thumbs up at this English video, because doing that, you help me to keep it doing or keep posting videos here to increase our community on the YouTube channel. And so, Alice, as we were talking before we started this recording season, we were talking about some things that happened with us some days ago, because I believe the last time that we practiced, it was at Sunday. Yes, at Sunday, it was the
Yeah.
last time that we practiced. And right now, I just would like to choose these topics to practice English with you. I don't know if we gonna have some problems to express ourselves, because as we were talking before, we have some problems when there are new topics to discuss, because we have no idea how many topics exist to speak in English. So we are trying to learn as much as possible. So this topic today, it's gonna be advantages or disadvantages. So disadvantages or advantages. What are the advantages or disadvantages of being rich, at your opinion?
Okay. I think being rich have more advantages than disadvantages. I think maybe there are many advantages for being rich, um, such as we can buy everything we want without thinking. But now, if we are not so rich, we need to manage our money. We can't. Sometimes when we want to buy something, we need to think it over, to think it if it is useful, and because we have limited money, we can't run out of it very quickly. Then this is not very good for people who have limited money. But for extremely rich people, they don't need to think about these things. Maybe they don't need to manage money. Besides, they don't need to work very hard. If they have unlimited money, they don't need to work extremely hard. They can only do things they really like. Maybe for some people, if their financial situation is not so good, they would like to accept some work which they don't really like, only for the money. They don't have many choices. If they really don't like this work, but they need money, they can quit the job. I think this thing is quite common. This usually happened on me before. And I think these things happen on a lot of my colleagues, because we have bills to pay. We have something else to do. If we don't like this job, we can't quit it quickly. We need to find another job first, and we can quit this later. This is quite common.
Yeah, me
Besides,
either.
okay. Besides, I think being rich can give us more choices and more opportunities. For example, some people want to establish their own company. But this is quite impossible for a lot of people, because they don't have that much money, and they can't have this try. Maybe for some people, if they want to establish a company, they need to spend all of his or her money. And if he failed, if he fails, um, he will become a poor people again. So I think not all the people dare to do this. I think these are the advantages of being rich. But there are also some disadvantages, because I think money is not everything. Maybe for some rich people, they also has their worries. Their lives are not perfect. And for some people, they become although they are rich, they spend they spend a lot of time on making money. They don't have other hobbies. They don't have time to spend with their families. I think those things are not true happy. Although they have money, they are lack of happiness, and even they had a bad relationship with their family, and except for work, they don't need to do. They don't need they don't have any hobbies. Those people are I just learned a very advanced word. They are workaholism, workaholic. This means they are crazy about work.
Workaholic. Yeah, yeah, I know. There are a lot of there are other words, but there are one which is special that is slave to it. It's like
Yes.
they feel slave to the jobs because they like to work. They work a lot, but they have no given attention on the right things on their lives.
Yes, you are right. So I think for those people, maybe maybe the desire of being rich is a bad thing for their life, because for making money, they lose a lot of true happiness. This is not so good. All in all, I think all of people need to work hard to become rich, because money can help us do a lot of things. Money can give us a good life quality, but I still think making money is not everything. Money is just a part of our life. We still need to seek for some other true happiness, and mm, okay, I think that's all.
Yeah, I'm agree with you 100%. There are a lot of advantages, or of course, with these advantages, there sometimes come some disadvantages or advantages. So it's quite difficult to say or to talking about money because I don't know what do you think exactly about that. Because in my opinion, there are how many? I believe the majority of people all over the world are seeking to be rich. They are looking to be rich. They are trying to be rich as fast as as possible. And unfortunately, they lost so many years on their lives, spend trying to be rich, work a lot, like just said right now. And maybe 20 years. They spend 20 years on their careers and without achieve these goals. And when they take notion, when they notice it, when they even notice it, they are with the old people and they have no money enough to pay the bills, no money enough to do what they wanted, and their life is just pass out. So, or maybe almost pass out. So we should pay attention every day at ourselves, at our behavior when we're talking about money. When the topic is money, we should think that money is necessary, but it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is our life, our happiness, and the people who we love. So, like you just said, I really I like that you just said about the family. Sometimes people work a lot. They are how did you said is workaholic? That's it, workaholic.
Workaholic.
Workaholic, exactly. Workaholic. It's people who are crazy, like you said. It's people like who are work a lot. They live to work, not to. They live to not their work to live. They live to workaholic. Exactly, workaholic. So people like this, as I said, is people that live to work, not work to live, unfortunately. And they spend a lot of time to do it. And sometimes they get sick. they get frustrated, they get so many the disappointment on their lives. But if we just try to take a simple life, to make our life as simple as possible, we're gonna be happy, we're gonna do, and we're gonna achieve a lot of things. And we're gonna, the best of things, we're gonna give the right value to the things that we earn, that we get, that we achieve. And I like it. So right now it's your turn. Make it a question. Choose a question to me and give it this. Ask the question to me. It's your turn.
Okay. Hmm, let me choose one question. The last second one. I think this is interesting. What are the advantages and the disadvantages of being male?
Wow, that is nice. You choose a good one. There are a lot, in my opinion. Unfortunately, I today I was talking with that about that with my wife some minutes before, and of course, sometimes we disagree a lot. We disagree a lot about that, but in my opinion, to be man, it's quite unfortunate. I should say that. I'm so sorry for everyone who are watching us and is man is one or woman, but I should say that be man today, be male is quite easier compared to the woman's. That is my opinion, unfortunately, because we have been looking now. I believe that I should say we have been watching a lot of news, a lot of some uh, some people think we have been watching people around ourselves. So, and when we start to pay attention on this situation, we have been thinking that when male, it's more even to simple things like go to the bathroom. It starts to go to the bathroom when it should go to the bathroom. It's quite easier to a male than a female when we are in the public, for instance, the public bathroom. Um, but to be today have been changing this topic, but we have more. It's more easier for us. It's easier for us to get a better job, to get a new job if we have the qualifications. But some years ago was not the same for the women, unfortunately. Right now, all over the world, people are looking to give the right value to the woman because woman is mom and take care about the children from almost all day long. They need to work. They work a lot as ourselves as the men, but they have the woman. They are not recognized by their efforts. So I know that, and that is a bad situation. But I believe that the world have been changing. The world have been thinking better and better how to give the right opportunities to females. But I believe advantage to be male. If I talked for 10 or 15 years ago, if we should talk to 10 or 15 years ago, I believe that get a better jobs, get better opportunities, travel for all over the world, even if you are married, because sometimes at that time, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, maybe more than that, the women just stay at home. They used to stay at home, take care of our children, take care of their family, and the man was more freely to do whatever they want than a woman, than a female. Not that I agree with that. I didn't agree with that, but I'm talking about 15 years, 20 years ago, that it was more common, this type of situation, this type of way of life. But I believe that today, and current days, there are not much difference between male or female. We have been trying to be equalized. We have been looking to be equalized. We have been thinking about that because male and female have the same rights, the same obligations, and we should try live our life as best as possible. That is what I think. It's quite difficult and it's very uh, it this topic is quite criticized by the society in general because there will be a lot of people who are saying that male is easier than female, but there will be a lot of people who maybe choose the side of female or male and things like that. It's quite difficult to say anything exactly about this topic, but I believe it's to be male. I believe it's quite easier than female. That is my opinion. Even if I didn't agree with this phrase, but that is what I think when I just look at myself. I have been looking at. I don't know why, but that's what I think. It's quite difficult. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay, I think this question is quite interesting, and we all know that the gender discrimination does exist in
Yeah.
somewhere of the world. But fortunately, I think I haven't suffered from these things now. For me, I think um, no one refuses, no job refuses me because of the gender. So I think I am so lucky. But I still know in my country, in some rural areas, people has very serious gender discrimination, and when they give birth to a baby, they have gender preference. They want boys because because they think boys can work more because they grow plants, they grow something, and this work and boys can do this work well, and the girls can only cook or take care of the baby at home, so they can make money. That's why they had the gender preference. But for people in the city, I think the gender the gender difference has no influence. But I don't know. Maybe for for the women who have children, things are different because they need to spend more time taking care of the children, and so it's a little hard for them to find the job.
Yeah.
That's
Indeed.
quite a issue, and I think uh, this is a very hot topic, and a lot of people are trying to solve this problem.
Yes, indeed, indeed. You said the right phrase. I would like to remember that before. Gender discrimination. That is the phrase. Gender discrimination have been taking place yet have been taking places. But as you just said, there are a lot of people from all over the world, the governments and people who have the power to do it. They are trying to decrease this topic in the middle of the human beings, because let me just give my own example here when we're talking about difficult to be male and female. As I just told, I already told you some meetings before at the beginning. I don't remember exactly when I told you that, but I have been worked with on my career and for 11 years right now. But before that, I had worked a lot in other type of occupations, other type of jobs. But when I started, I got my technical degree 11 years ago, and I have been working on this area since then. But my wife, unfortunately, at the same time when I was studying yet at that time, when I studied my technical degree, my wife was doing some university courses, like I don't know how can I say that in English, but she would like to be a teacher at that time. So she was studying, she was doing her college and trying to get this certification. But after some months, we had a lot of changes at our life, and she decided to stop to work. And she was doing an internship at a big school here on the and close to where I live, and she's worked there for almost 2 years. But unfortunately, at the last year, at his at the last year that she would like to take his certificate to finish his graduation, unfortunately, we must to stop it because we have no money more to support us ourselves because I lost my job, she lost her job, we stay without money at that time. It was 10 years ago, just to get an idea. But and everything changed. So, and of course, I was almost finishing my technical certification and technical graduation, and I got my certification. I started working as a occupational safety technician since then, but my wife decided to stay at home and take care of our children at that time because she was thinking what she do should do in the future, in her future, and with her career. And she decided to stay at home because we make some, how can I say, we make some agreements between us at the beginning of our marriage that we should start to work and should start to develop our careers. And she gave me the opportunity to me start first, to me starting with my career. So that's why I could work it 11 years right now without thinking without to stay at home to care for my children because I know that I have her take care for our children. I have her to take care for our house or things like that. Besides, besides that, she started working at home. She started working doing some things like I don't know how can I say that, but things like let me try here. Uh, And I would like to say that custom objects. I don't know if you know. It's like she has some machines to do some custom objects, which it was cup, mugs, and skirts, and sweaters. And she started doing some things like that, and she started selling
Oh,
this.
I understand. Make
Yeah.
she made some clothes and sell this to other people.
Yes, there are not so clothes. There's a lot of other types of objects, but clothes is one of them. But she started doing a lot of things, masks too, because we were starting some years ago. We are at the middle of the pandemic, the world pandemic. So she started to make some masks too to protect us from COVID-19 because everyone were using masks at that time. But we started to do some custom masks, which the people just choose how they would like to get their masks. If they like to put some pictures on her masks, some how can I say, some cartoons, some things like that. So my wife was working with that at that time, but it was everything at home. She could do everything at home. So and I keep working outside. I keep working a lot. So that's is how we have been building our life. We have been building. I could bought my house. I could bought my car. I could bought a lot of things for a house. We have money to do the things, but even though that's what I'd like to share here to be clear with you here. Even though at that time my wife was not working outside of my home, to be female, to be mother, it's quite difficult. It's more difficult than go outside and start working for companies and things like that. I believe so. It's quite tired because children are not easy to take care. Children have been needs some attentions, needs some particular attentions, and she have been helping a lot. So everything that I could build, it was because she was supporting me by home. She was supporting by home at that time. But right now, some 1.5 years ago, I decided to give her a chance to do the same, to build her career, to choose what she would like to be, what she would like to do with her life. So I tell her that she needed to start studying again, needed to start doing her college, maybe took some degrees, take some bachelor's degree and something like that. And that's why she decided to be a software engineer. So she started studying 1.5 years ago, and right now she are almost at the middle of her scars, and she have been studied a lot. I have been support her as much as I can, but right now it's quite difficult too because she is needed to get an internship Because when you are studying like software engineer or things like that here in Brazil, I don't know how about China, but in Brazil, when you are getting a bachelor's degree, you needed to, it's like an obligation to get your certificate to finish your course. You need to get an internship in a company. You need to work in a company as a trainee, you know. So you need to work at least 6 months, 1 year as a trainee. I don't know exactly how many times, how much time she needs to work as to do an internship. But it's quite difficult right now because our two children, we have two children, and they are at school, and every day they needed to she needs to take them to the school and to pick up them again. So it's quite difficult to to find someone to help us with that because she needs to start her internship right now. So we are looking for ways um, to find someone or some company to help her to help us here to take care of our children. And also, it's some things that it's quite difficult when you are married, and sometimes more for women. So I have been imagining that a woman who are not married anymore, who are a man, a single mom, because there's a lot of single mom here in Brazil. There's a lot of single mom all over the world, which sometimes stay with the children, and she starts to work, and she needs to work. She needs to take care of her children. She needs to take care of herself. So that's why I think that woman is quite. It's quite difficult to be female than male because the majority of time woman needs to work more, and it's quite difficult. But I just shared this story to you just to have an idea why I told you that I believe it to be female. It's quite difficult when we're talking about male and female. To be female, it's more how can I say? It's a challenge today. If you have no one to support, of course. That's why I'm trying to support as much as I can my wife to help her with her career.
Yes, I agree with you, and I think every time when in a family there are some children to take care of, and there are some things to do at home. So we need to choose one to stay at home and give up the career. Only we will choose the woman to do this, and usually we will choose the man to go out to earn money. Maybe that's humans' nature, and women are better at taking care of children, and usually young children are more close to their moms. So and I think sometimes it's harder for men to take care of the children. So maybe that's another reason why we have gender discrimination in the job market.
Yeah, indeed. That's it. So let's change a little bit our topic for discussing. We talk a lot about this, so it's quite difficult. Sometimes there's a lot of word which is, how can I say? In Portuguese, there's a phrase to do that, but it's a quite, it's a problem. Let me remember in Portuguese. How can I say? It's polemic social issues. You know, it's a polemic social issue. Let me try here. Let me try here. Yes, controversial social fact, that is called. When we're talking about that, it's like a controversial social fact. It's difficult to find a right answer to this. That's what this phrase means. It's quite difficult because there's a lot of opinions about what should be the right, what should be wrong. But the right way that I think when we're gonna think about that, we should support each other. Everyone has their own rights to do whatever they want, and of course we should respect each other's desires and respect it and support. Of course, when we are married, we should support ourselves. Let me change the topic, Alice. Let's talk about another one here. Let me share with you another part of our. I believe it to be awesome. Okay, right now it's quite easy. I believe it's easier than the last topic. So we're gonna talk about risks and dangers. So let me know a little bit about you, Alice. What is the biggest risk you ever taken? You have ever taken. So what is the biggest risks you have ever taken?
Okay. I think I am not quite a risk taker. And I think every time I want to make a decision, I would like to think it about it over and over again, to avoid risk. I don't like to take risk, but several months ago, I watched a short video on TikTok. That was an interview. The interviewer asked an old woman what advices she would like to give to young people, and her advice is to uh, travel more, take more risk, and experience more. Because when you get old, you can't take any risk. So after
Wow.
listening,
Well, this is very deeply. I
yeah.
identified myself in this phrase.
Yes, and after listening to uh this after listening to this, I thought a lot. I thought that I am young now. I don't have children now. So I have a lot of freedom. I think I should experience more and take more risk. So I decided to find a job in foreign country next year, but I haven't done this thing. I haven't taken this risk, but I think I have decided. Actually, working in foreign country has a lot of problem. Maybe before watching this video, I would never done this thing. I thought that I have a very good life in China now. I'm satisfied with my salary, and I have house here, and I think it's very easy to change a job in China. Because now I am young, and if I change a job, I can get about 30% increase in my salary. So I think staying at China can help me earn a lot of money in these years. And besides, I think my life is very good. And although I am a little far away from my hometown, uh, but I can go back to my hometown. Taking 4 hours of train. I think it's not quite far away from my parents, and I can visit them quite often, maybe four or five times a year. And because I am the only child of my parents, and they think that after I have a child, they would like to help me take care of my child after they get retired, because they want me to pursue my career. And I think everything is very okay. Maybe there are some disadvantages, but I think everything is okay. But I think when I was a teenager, I was quite curious about the life in Europe and in the United States. At that time, I liked Formula One very much. Uh, Maybe that was because I just like this race. But the other reason I watched it is that the Formula One race was held in many places around the world. And when I watched this, I can knew I can watch the scenery of other countries such as Spain, France, Monaco, and Switzerland. At that time, I thought that countries were a developed country, and I am living in a developing country. So there are some differences between these two countries and these countries. So at that time I admired those countries very much. But I haven't worked or studied there. And when I grew up, when I became an adult, I gave up this admire because I thought that studying abroad will cost me a lot of money, and working abroad will still give me some problem, such as living the comfortable house and rent a house and in the foreign country, and can't see my parents very frequently, and have to work in English. And maybe this means start my career. But after listening to that interview, I changed my mind because I think that I have been admiring the life in foreign country for a long time. I only give it up because of the reality, because of the money, because of the comfort. That's not good. So I decided to take more risk. I think I can have a try to work in foreign country, and if it does not suit me, I can go back to China maybe 2 or 3 years later. And so that's why I decided to learn English. And maybe I think next year I will definitely have a try. Okay.
Nice, nice. Yes, indeed. I believe you should do it. If you have this dream, if you are looking for new experience, of course, is this is to be. It's gonna be without any doubt. It's gonna be a lot of new experience out of your life, your career, at the end for you and for your family. That is gonna be awesome. I hope it's everything get well with your plans for the future. And English, of course, is going to be one of the keys, or maybe can brings a lot of advantages for you on this area. And it's very, very interesting. I like it so much. What you just said about the phrase that you brings to us here. So we should take more risks. We should travel more. We should know ourselves. Enjoy our childhood. Enjoy our younger time. And I agree with this phrase, to be honest. Of course, I already took a lot of risks at my life. I already did a lot of things. One of them was good things, others unfortunately bad things, bad decisions. But everything I did gave me a lot of experience. There's a lot gave me a lot of new thinking about the way of life and things like that. So right now I'm focused more and to be more, how can I say, to have more knowledge. I've been trying to learn a lot of things, cultures, and improve. Of course, everything starts at the beginning with English, but I don't know, maybe I don't know what can I do in 5 years. What should I do in 5 years? What, and maybe I have been work for international company. I already received some days ago, I didn't tell you, but some days ago I received a job offer to work for another international company.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, but I didn't took
Congratulations.
I didn't accept it. I didn't accept it, but I'm looking. How can I say? I'm just feel good. I'm just feel luck because they are. Even I didn't apply myself. I do not apply myself to this job. They just look at my profile on the LinkedIn and they send me the proposal. They send me the offer. So I'm looking for people working for international company, but these people should need or should have or should know how to speak fluent in English, to have a speaking fluency in English. So That is what they are looking for. They are looking for someone which have the same job as me, for instance, occupational safety technician, but this person should be fluent in English to got this job opportunity. I didn't apply to that, and I gave the negative answer for that person, which were were asking me if I would like to accept this invited, because I didn't saw, unfortunately, right now, I didn't saw any improvement on my career. Just with English, of course, English is gonna be awesome if I start working with my English, but when we talk about money, well, the topic was money and benefits that the company should offer. It was not enough to live out my current job. So as I told you before, and we were talking before here, I have my family. I should take care about them. So I must think about the money. Unfortunately, I must think about the benefits and the
So do I.
establish. Yes, yes, you know how is it. But but it's interesting. Interesting. The best part is they just look at my profile and they saw there that I'm able to speak English. I don't know if I'm the fluent level yet. I know how to express myself, depending on the topics, of course. Like we just saw here minutes before, we just saw that when we talked about some female and some benefits to be male or female, there were a lot of difficult to express ourselves because it's a quite new topic to discuss. We never discussed topics like this before. So that's is how our brains works. When it's the first time that we are talking about it, it's quite difficult to express, but we got used to it. So sometimes it's gonna be easy to us talking about this topic. And that's it. The next question is with you. It's up with you, Alice. You would like to ask me? Just choose one question of this and ask me.
Okay, let me think. Okay, I think these topics are also very interesting. Have you traveled to a dangerous country before? How was dangerous about it? Maybe you can we can replace the country to city. Have
Yeah,
you traveled to a dangerous city before?
yeah. It would be better because I never live out from Brazil yet. I never traveled to a foreign country for another country, unfortunately yet. Maybe I should listen that advice that your the old guy said. We should travel more, take more risks. But of course, risks doesn't mean craziness things. Doesn't mean craziness. So we are not crazy to just starting thinking about we should have travel. So tomorrow I gonna uh, ask you to how can I say yeah, I'm gonna dismiss at my job and I'm gonna travel. I don't know where. I just gonna travel. So there's not way. It's not does not work like this. So yeah, I did. I already traveled for a country for a city which I think it's quite dangerous, especially that part of the city which I went at the time. It was for São Paulo. I don't know if you ever heard about this city. It's one of the biggest city here at Brazil, which is called the São Paulo. I believe 1 year, 2 years ago, I went to this city, and that place when I stayed at that time, it's quite good. The hotel is quite good. The city is quite good. But when I when the topic was walking around the city, walking around, just know some new places. I saw so many dangerous places. There were a time at that situation which I felt so scared. I felt so I was with a lot of fear because I went to my company there. There's a lot of offices for that company when I was which I were used to work with. There were a lot of places. So there are places at the São Paulo city, Rio de Janeiro state, and Paraná, which I live. So there's a lot of offices for all over the country. So I at that time I went to São Paulo, which one of the states is quite closer to my state, to my city. It's my more than 500 kilometers. It's more, I believe it's 600 kilometers away from my house. But at that time, when I went to the office, to the different office, and it was about the time to lunchtime, we decided to leave out and to go some restaurants to grab some food, some things like that. And that my colleagues, as they worked there for a long time, they live at that city. They took me to a restaurant. They tell me, "Oh, I gonna took you to a good restaurant to eat, to just to grab a lunch, to eat some food, something like that." And I said to them, "Okay, let's do it. Let's go." So when we were on the way to the restaurant, when we were at the middle of the way to the restaurant, we had to pass through, how can I say, one of the more scared streets that I ever passed before. It was just one street, but it was very large. It's a huge street, and there were a lot of, I believe, the scared building, which live a lot of people who were, how can I say, using drugs and selling some rubber things. There were a lot of bad guys at that time. I know São Paulo is a huge city. He is a huge state too, because São Paulo is the same name, the city. So there are state of São Paulo and city in the same state is a called. There is a city which is called São Paulo too. So São Paulo is a state, and a city is a city. There is a city called São Paulo on the same state. And of course, it's quite huge, it's quite big. Unfortunately, I was at that place, but there's a lot of other parts of this city which is very beautiful, very safe. But at this part, when I were at that time, it was very scary. So yeah, I believe that is the only time which I remember right now, that I felt it was one of the scariest traveling that I had, or the scary time which I can't remember right now.
Okay, I got it, and I have watched a lot of YouTube videos about traveling in Brazil, and in every video they talk about if it is dangerous to travel in Brazil, especially in Rio de Janeiro and São Paulo. I think maybe all the famous cities in Brazil is a little dangerous, because there are some homeless people living together, and they usually commit some crime. Maybe they take some drugs. Maybe this is very dangerous, I think.
Yeah. You did very well. You did your homework. So exactly, when we're talking about São Paulo or Rio de Janeiro, I believe these two states is one. I believe is the most scary or the most dangerous when we're talking about traveling, tourism, and things like that. Because I know maybe there are a lot of people who are watching us, and to be honest with you, there is one guy at our English WhatsApp group, which is called Ricardo. Ricardo is from São Paulo here in Brazil, but unfortunately, he never spoke with us. Unfortunately, until right now, I just added him at our English speaking club. But I took I took one class with him. I took one time with him. I spoke with him here by the Google Meet, just to see, just to know him, just understand how is his English level. And he is at the beginner, things like that. But he has a good conversation. He understands very well, and that's why I decided to invite him to our English WhatsApp group. But talking about São Paulo, I believe he told me that he lives in São Paulo, but he is thinking about moving with her family to Canada next year. He told me that that's why he started studying English. But I hope he could forgive us because we are talking about São Paulo. Everyone who are watching us here on the YouTube, sorry, because São Paulo, I know there are a lot of beautiful places, there are a lot of safe places, but probably if you live in São Paulo, you know what we are talking about. I know that it's quite difficult to assume that São Paulo is quite dangerous. There's a lot of dangerous areas, and of course, we even not need to talking about Rio de Janeiro. So Rio de Janeiro is well known for dangerous place. Is well known for all over the world. Is well known from all over Brazil. All of the states of Brazil, everyone knows that Rio de Janeiro is one of the most dangerous states from Brazil. Of course, there are some beautiful places at Rio de Janeiro, but these places not catch my eyes because I have a lot of places like this here on the state of Paraná. For instance, beautiful beaches and beautiful mountains, and I believe we can see this in other states. But if I had the opportunity, if I had a chance to go to Rio de Janeiro, I should take not these risks. I don't like it so much, Rio de Janeiro. I'm so sorry, people, if you are from Rio. That's it, Alice. I believe we did. We practiced a lot. We practiced 1 hour right now. But unfortunately, I should finish this English meeting because it's time to go to bed. To me, tomorrow I should wake early. Should wake up early. And right now it's 10 p.m. 10 p.m. 3 minutes, of course. But I'm so glad that we could practice today. But I don't know why my English is quite difficult today. I don't know if it's related to my tired body because my tired body. I have been work a lot. I went to the park today. I did some exercises, some 1 hour before we started here. So I run it today. I make some push-ups, pull-ups, and I work all day long. And right now, my body and my mind maybe are quite tired. That's why my English is not works and as used to be.
Oh, really? But I think your English is very good today.
Oh, thank you so much, but I'm so scared because there are a lot of words which it does not come to my mind when I need it, and this maybe should be because I'm tired. That have been influenced at my brain. But I'm so glad, even though I'm so glad that we practice at Monday. So we practice Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. 3 days. Oh, that's nice. We have been practicing 3 days along
Yes.
English and did a lot of exercises. And I hope we can practice maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Let's see how it's gonna be for you, how it's gonna be for me. But if you feel free to practice tomorrow at the same time, to me it's gonna be tomorrow, of course. But maybe to you it's gonna be at night. I don't know exactly. But let's keep in touch by the WhatsApp to maybe to schedule some new time to practice here. Of course, I just could not practice at Thursday. Thursday at night, it's quite difficult to me because I had some things to do with my family at this time. But Monday, Thursday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and Friday, I'm free to practice English. And so, whenever you feel free, whenever you want to practice speaking skills, just send them a message by the WhatsApp, and we're gonna schedule it again. Schedule again. So let me just finish this English recording here. I just will finish the recording session. For the people who are watching us on the YouTube channel, I'd like to say thank you so much to watch up to the end of this video. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this video and give me a thumbs up, because if you would like to see more videos like this, more English speaking conversation, it would be awesome if you just click the bell and waiting for the new videos at this YouTube channel. Yes, you can. You can learn English by yourself as we are doing here, Alice and I. So thank you so much for you who are watching us here, and I hope see you in the next videos. Bye bye.